Got
There
it.
we go.
Mr. Owen, can you do the announcement for the closed session, please?
Yes, in closed session, the board met with its property negotiator regarding the parcels of property shown on the closed session portion of the agenda. The board gave direction to the negotiator and took no other official action. That concludes my report.
All right, will everyone please stand for the pledge of allegiance? Put your hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get a roll call, please.
Yes, Division 1, Kim Gerald Johnson. Here. Division 2, Jose Luis Godinez.
Present.
Division 3, Tammy Rivas. Here. Division 4, Edgar Castellano. Division 5, Ross Leisure.
Any presentations or recognitions tonight?
Yes, this evening, we have a presentation from our recreation department. Alex will be updating us on the sports division. Give me a quick second here and it's all yours.
All right, good evening, everyone. I just want to welcome everyone in. Thank you guys for coming. I know that everyone has a very busy schedule, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible. So getting straight into it, the main topics that we're going to be discussing is Rancho Grupo Regional. First, let me introduce myself. I apologize. My name is Alex Figuera. I'm the recreation coordinator. I oversee the sports department. I've been working with the district now for 8 or 9 years, give or take. And I am actually a resident of Hurley Valley. I live in Jose Luis's district or part of Mariloma. So heading on into it, our first topic of discussion is going to be Rancho Grupo Regional Sports Park. Here's some different pictures for everyone that's not acquainted with the park itself. So currently right now we issue field allocations or permits on a 4-month cycle. We have entered our May to August cycle. The park does have part-time security on weekends, meaning Friday through Sunday, to help with some of our code enforcement or just rule enforcement, I should say. With AYSO, they have a youth recreational league that runs 2 times per year. It's going to be from February to May, and again from August to November. During those times, we do have our line painting robot or our turf tank that's out there. We do paint fields once a week. We also have our snack bar running daily, 7 days a week. We do require a food handler's permits from our staff, and many improvements have been made to the snack bar once we received it. It is a very small area and location. We've added new refrigerators, many new shelvings, and we've been doing pretty much inventory on it and ordering items once a week. Some of the duties our part-time staff has that they're regularly checking for is making sure that they're well equipped for frequently asked questions, whether it's any other programs we have going on, or if it's how do they get field access, making sure that everyone has proper insurance as well. Making sure that they understand the opening and closing procedures, the enforcement of rules, and our main ones being no smoking, drinking, fighting, anything of the such. Dogs as well, making sure that it's only service animals and making sure that they're only asking the proper questions. They monitor the fields and also make sure that everyone is at their proper allocated field times and have their permits on site. And then the snack bar duties, of course, you have to have the opening and closing, the cash handling procedures, monitoring the equipment, and then rotating inventory. For our sports for types, we do offer 5 different sports. We have t-ball, basketball, and soccer. Our sports for types do run on Thursdays. Typically, they're from 5 to 6, depending on the season and when the sun is out. We do also offer flag football and indoor hockey. These are more so niche sports. So with that being said, the enrollment is typically a little lower during these times. We're also looking to introduce and implement a multi-sport. There are other cities and organizations that implemented this. It would still work on a 6-week program, and we would pretty much introduce them to the 3 main sports being t-ball, soccer, and basketball. Pretty much the first week would kind of introduce them, let them know what the skills are and necessary way of playing. And then after that, the second week would be the scrimmage itself. And then from there, they'd move and rotate from t-ball to soccer to basketball. It's cost effective for the family, and it's a lot easier for them to do a multi-sport for the parents to try all 3 sports rather than enrolling their child to one sport and having to pay the whole cost in season, just in case little Jimmy doesn't end up liking baseball. Our youth basketball, we are gearing up for summer season to start. Our mandatory skills day is going to be on May 3rd. We will have our draft because our A and B division are drafted by the coaches. That draft will be held on May 13th. And then we'll go ahead and construct and create the I and C division teams, which are the younger groups, on the Friday. Practices will begin June 2nd and games will begin on June 14th. Our adult basketball is currently underway. We go ahead and run adult basketballs during fall and spring on Wednesdays. We do have our max capacity of teams. We have 8 current teams going on right now, 6 returning, 2 are new. And our playoffs will be held on May 21st. Adult futsal is a new program that we're looking to add to the district. We have tried for some time now. It would also run during fall and spring. We're looking to hold 2 different seasons on Sundays and Tuesdays. And currently enrollment hasn't been the hottest. And then some of the duties over at the Wanamaker Gym and Sports for Tykes. At the gym, of course, responding to frequently asked questions. There are practices being held on a nightly basis, so making sure that our staff members are well-rounded and educated in all of our different programs. Opening and closing of the gym, making sure that the facility is clean and operational and presentable to the public. And then for Sports for Tykes, our main focus for the 3 to 5-year-olds is going to be being energetic and engaging for the kids of that age and making sure that they're willing to participate. And safety. At Centennial Park, permit cycles are every 6 months. They are available per request. Typically, Peruba Steelers will have practices during the week, sometimes for a flag football program that they're having, but in totality, the main groups that are using the facility is going to be 2 different cricket organizations. Cricket has also expressed an interest on making Centennial Park their main site and their home, and they're looking to want to potentially build 2 crickets on site. We haven't been discussion with them, but nothing has been set in stone as of yet. I'm sure more information will come out later.
We're basically waiting for them to give us some design standards for the pitch that needs to be installed. And then we can start working on cost proposals. They've agreed or indicated they're willing to donate towards the cost of that. And it won't inhibit the use of the field for soccer either.
Yeah, so just to piggyback off what Colby said, exactly that. We made sure and we took measurements to make sure that soccer would be able to be played. Of course, not at the same time for insurance purposes, but at different times we would be able to have soccer and cricket on different days. And that's pretty much everything going on in the sports world. If anyone has any questions for me.
I guess just how have things in terms of with Rancho Jurupa with the leagues and everything, the coordination, everything going smoothly?
For the most part, yes. And I think there are clear and defined roles now. Organizations kind of know more or less where they stand in the pecking order. Of course, anytime you give out allocations, the user groups are always over requesting on field. So that is a little frustrating, but all in all, things run pretty smooth.
And if I could just share a little tidbit I learned this past week, we had a presentation from a mobile data analytics corporation. They basically take the data from people's cell phones and where you've been and different things. quite fascinating technology that's out there, but they use Rancho Rupa as one of the examples for us. And over a rolling 12-month period ending as of it was Monday, we had 559,000 visitors at the soccer park in the previous year. Blew my mind. I didn't think it'd be that high.
Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, yes.
So I have a question. How did you come to the idea of introducing futsal?
So introducing futsal is pretty much, we have a need and demand for adult sports and us wanting to expand to different adult sports areas. We bounced around the idea of possibly even doing a softball. We've done kickball, or at least thought about it. And the way we came up with futsal is because we do have the Clip Wanamaker Gymnasium. And we all kind of agreed that it's underutilized when youth basketball isn't happening. So we're trying to come up with new ways and ideas to utilize that facility and give a sport for the adults.
Have you identified a reason why enrollment is so low?
What I've kind of gathered from the adults is most adults in the area want to play 11v11 outdoor soccer, or at least indoor soccer. Since futsal, we can't fit 11 people on the court at the same time for it. There aren't too much interest. With that being said, we have about a handful, maybe 10 people that are consistently interested in indoor futsal.
Have you considered volleyball as well?
We have considered volleyball, and that is an idea that we picked on. We've also possibly thought about doing pickleball as well.
We're trying. Softball is with Big League Dreams here in town. It's there. You got much nicer facilities to compete. Hard to compete with, obviously. Basketball does well for us. We've looked at, except kickball. Some cities and agencies are offering dodgeball, a little scary liability wise. But we're trying. So
Would you consider offering softball or baseball to the older crowd, I guess you can say that, or the neighbors, because maybe they don't have the time to go to the Jerupa facility?
they run them 7 days a week there right now.
Really?
Yeah, and the reality is we only have one field big enough for it, and it's nowhere near as nice as anything they have.
And they have other
And
facilities.
they have other
Yeah.
beverages that entice people to come there as well.
No other questions? Real quick, I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for putting on these operations and helping grow and develop the community. I know you guys probably don't hear it often. If anything, when people come in, they're probably giving you guys a hard time. So I just want to let you know that we are extremely appreciative of the growth of the community and management for helping on. And the XCC, if you haven't seen it yet, looks amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Well, do you want the clicker? Good night, everyone.
Good night. Moving on to public comments.
And what?
Go ahead. Do you have a timer?
Oh, I'll be short. Well, glad to be here, and I want to personally thank everybody in this room and to the public. I want to thank you, Kim, Edgar, Ross, Jose, Tammy, Kobe. Thank you, Kobe, Loretta. Hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
As a member of this community and bring my daughters here, my godson, my niece to the parks here, I love it. I love all the changes, all the improvements you guys have done. Please keep it up. You guys have my full support. My neighbors love it too. They come here too. So my deepest gratitude, okay? And this idea of Rancho Group Park, wow, amazing. I like it. I'm a big fan, and I'm gonna try it out myself. With that, I yield and thank you guys for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just like to say that the public is also welcome to give us ideas via email, or if any suggestion or problem comes up, we have the app as well. Yeah, we gotta work together as a community, we are. All right, does anyone wish to pull anything from the consent calendar?
We need to pull 5.3 since it would be nomination.
43.
The RPD Board of Directors call for nomination.
if anybody has a desire to run for that position, that would be the only.
We would need to pull that.
All right. Does anyone wish to make a motion?
Does anybody wish to remove 4.5.4.3?
For discussion?
Yeah, does anybody want to be taken, does anybody want to nominate themselves? To run for the CIP Board of Directors?
Yeah, I'll run again.
Okay,
don't
then
think-
I would like to
you
pull
ever-
five.
You didn't run for this one in the past, just,
Is it
Just-
different?
this is the CRPD, not CSDA.
Sure. I'll run for it.
So I'll pull 4.3 then, and then I will move approval of the rest of the consent calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to board action items.
4.3.
4.3.
Oh, 4.3, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
All right, CRPD Board of Directors call for nominations.
Yes, so at the upcoming conference in down in San Diego at the end of May. Will be the annual board meeting for California Association of Park and Recreation Districts. And there is a call for nominations currently open. So their president-elect, secretary, director at large. President-elect, secretary, there are two set positions already as part of the rotation of the cycle here. Director at large, there are two positions open right now. Jan Bissell from Value Park and Recreation District and Michael Seaman from Fulton El Camino. Those two seats are up. If Mr. Leja has expressed some interest, he'd be running for one of those two seats.
Are they also running, or that's just the seats that are?
Those are the two seats that are up. I believe Mr. Bissell is looking at running.
But not Mr. Seymour?
I do not know if Mr. Seaman is running or not.
Okay.
I would assume he has been on the board for over a
A really long time.
Yes. So if Mr. Leja is interested in running that, it'll be something that we will bring back on our May 8th agenda. We have to pass a resolution. The nominations are due on Friday the 9th.
So do we need to do anything with this tonight then?
Other than Mr. Leja formally expressing his consideration, the board not wanting to bring it back for consideration.
Yeah.
I think that
I know these seats are not easy to overturn for
No.
some people that have been there for a long time.
you have to campaign that night,
Yeah.
but
Got our vote.
All right.
got at least one. All right, perfect. We will do that then.
Moving on to board action items now. Item 5.1, conduct public hearings and election related to Community Facilities District 2016-1 annexation number 45. Mr. DeGuid.
Thank you. As you just said, this is annexation of CFD 2016-1. This is the property generally located on Clay Street, just north of the Gold Star Burger there. It's a property been acquired by DR Horton and it's being effectively referred to as the Rupa Townhomes, correct? Serrano Oaks, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Nick is here from DPFG, who is the financial consultant working for
DR.
DR Horton. But and then Ms. Gruber is here as well. But other than that, I think we are ready to open the public hearings, Mr. President.
All right. I'm calling the agenda item for annexation number 45 to Community Facilities District number 2016-1.
I jumped ahead of the staff presentation, sorry.
Got it. All right. And then these are the public hearings and this board's proceedings for annexation number 45 to Community Facilities District number 2016-1. The hearings are to inquire into the annexation of territory into the district and the levy of special taxes in the territory to be added to fund the cost of certain public services in the district. The public hearings are now officially opened. Protests may be oral or written. Any property owner and any registered voter within the proposed territory to be annexed into the district may file a written protest. Does anyone wish to file a written protest? If so, they must be filed with the board clerk at this time. Board clerk, have we received any written protests?
No, I haven't.
Great. Since there are no written protests filed, we will now receive oral comments and questions and any oral protests from any interested persons. When all comments have been received, the hearings will be closed. Is anyone here to present an oral comment or protest in this matter? All right.
The public hearings are now closed. We may now consider and adopt the resolution of annexation and the resolution calling election in that order,
I can start at this end of the table if you want.
please.
Okay. I move approval of resolution number 2025-09 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Harupa Area Recreation and Park District ordering the annexation of territory to its Community Facilities District number 2016-1, subject to voter approval.
Second.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes. Kim Gerald Johnson. Aye. Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leja.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Tammy Rivas.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. Castellan?
I move approval of resolution number 2025-10 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Harupa Area Recreation and Park District calling special election.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Kim Gerald Johnson. Aye. Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leja.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
And Tammy Rivas.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
The resolution calling special election calls for the property owner vote to approve the special tax and the appropriations limit for the territory to be annexed to district. Because the property owners have waived the waiting periods and other requirements related to elections as provided by law, the special election will be held at this evening's meeting. At this time, I ask the board clerk to open the ballots and announce the results of the special landowner election.
All right, I'm in receipt of one ballot representing 4.06 acres totaling 5 votes, and the vote is in favor.
Results of the election being in favor of the levy of the special taxes and the establishment of the appropriations limit, we may now proceed with the final actions for the district. Mr. Leisure.
I move approval resolution number 2025-11 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Harupa Area Recreation and Park District declaring results of special election and directing recording of notice of special tax lien.
Second. Roll call, please.
Yes. Kim Gerald Johnson. Aye. Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leja.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Tammy Rivas.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right. Ms. Rivas, can you take over motion 4, please? That's right. If you.
So I'm just.
This one, yep.
I move approval of the first reading and pass to second reading, the ordinance number 02-2025 entitled An Ordinance of the Board of Directors of the Harupa Area Recreation and Park District levy special taxes within the Harupa Area Recreation and Park District Community Facilities District number 2016-1, annexation number 45 area.
Second.
All right. Roll call, please.
Kim Gerald Johnson.
Aye.
Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leja.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Tammy Rivas.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
The Board of Directors accepts the results of the special tax ballot and stops all proceedings to levy the special tax for at least 1 year.
No.
Great.
Good. Questions?
Did you close?
When you close the public hearing?
We did.
Or you did, I'm sorry, yeah. We're good, good. Yeah.
All right. Moving on to item 5.2. Request fee waiver from IE4 Teal for Cancer Walk. Mr. DeWitt.
Give Dick a second to get out of the meeting and not go.
Sure.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
VR Wilson. Yes, a big company. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. Yes, we're in front of us. We have a request from IE Teal for a cure. I say that correct?
It's IE for Teal.
IE for Teal, I'm sorry. They've requested to use Rural Family Park again for their fundraiser walk, and this is a request for a fee waiver. This is something that the board granted in the past, and we wanted to bring it for you for consideration. They are looking to do their event on Saturday, September 7th, 2025. with that, we do have a representative from the group.
Sunday, it's Sunday, September. Did I bring? It's Sunday.
Oh, is this, I'm sorry, Sunday.
Sunday. I was like,
I just assumed it was
We have an
Saturday.
event on Saturday.
But Dylan, you want to give a presentation to the board?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Delia and I am the, executive director of I for Teal. I'm also an ovarian cancer survivor, 23 years. I am a resident of Jurupa Valley, born and raised here in Jurupa Valley. I started over I for Teal a little bit over 2 years ago. I was actually a part of a different organization. They closed down during COVID. I still felt like, we still have that need to educate the public and whatnot. So 2 years ago, we did our first walk here in Jurupa Valley, Verona Park, and you guys, were kind enough to waive the fees for the park. So we're trying to do it again this year in September, which is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. And it's in your hands. So the thing is that, we're promoting wellness, promoting unity, education, and just bringing the community together as, one day to raise awareness for all cancers, not ovarian, just ovarian, but all cancers. Thanks. Thank you.
Any comments from the board?
I have a question. Yes. Well, not for you, I'm sorry. Okay, that's okay. When we say we're waiving the fees, what are we waiving? How much is the amount that we're waiving?
Bucks is all that it would be.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are done by noon, 1 o'clock, yeah. And they're primarily walking the track per se. It's they do little opening ceremony and stuff. It's
Yeah.
The district is truly incurring no cost in something like this. They have their insurance, they have their nonprofit status in place. It's I think all of us can say we've been impacted in one way or another by some form of cancer within our family, and these are good things we like to be able to support.
I have a question. How many years have they done this?
So this would be your second year.
This will be, last year we didn't do it, so this will be ours, yeah.
Your second year?
Yes.
Well, I commend you because I too suffered ovarian cancer
Ovarian.
when I was 19, so my congratulations to your event.
Thank you.
Look forward to it.
Yes, okay. So I move the board of directors to approve the fee waiver request for use of the Reynolds Family Park for the IE for Teal Ovarian Cancer Awareness of the Inland Empire Walk on Sunday, September 7, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Congratulations.
Have a great event.
Moving on to item 5.3, consideration of articles of incorporation to form a nonprofit organization to assist the districts.
I'm gonna actually ask Mr. Owen to take the lead on this one, as he's been the workhorse on this.
Okay, this is consideration of the articles of incorporation. If you approve them, they will then be filed, and that will be the date of incorporation of your nonprofit. It is, however, one of the earlier steps. As you'll see, that's step 3 is where we're at tonight, as shown on the staff report, and we will go ahead and file them with the Secretary of State's office tomorrow if you approve them. I wanted, and then we'll go onward with the following steps after that. I've provided a draft of the articles. They are not written in stone. If you have things that you feel are not covered or that should be covered or that are covered and should not be covered, we can amend them. The one place where an amendment might be made is in Article 2, Section A. Many of the other provisions are just required by state and federal law. The corporation would have no members. Some of them have members that vote. This one we're proposing would not, as I think I've outlined in the staff report. The 5 board members of the Park District would be the 5 board members of the nonprofit. By virtue of that, the nonprofit will need to comply with the Brown Act, the Open Records Act, and the conflict of interest laws applicable to public agencies in California. But as I've said before, you're already complying with those. This would just show up basically when we have business for it to do. We would have 2 meetings on one night. And so if you recall, in the old days when redevelopment agencies were around, a city council will have basically 2 agendas back to back. And that's what we would do if there is nonprofit business to be transacted. I have set it up to where you can set the dates for how often you meet. You have to meet at least once a year, and that's all you have to meet. And I think that's about all of it. I've tried to tailor it so that it does everything you can do, but it's all circumscribed by you can only do it if it's for a charitable, educational, or scientific purpose. That's my intent here. So just so you know.
Ms. Johnson had a comment she wanted to add?
Well, first, if we could go down to the officers, I'm afraid I don't have it in
Sure.
front of me, so. Oh, there we go. In the bylaws.
Well, so the bylaws are something that this was attached just for reference purposes. That'll be something that is
At a
approved
future,
at a future meeting. It was just applied as a draft for
So
reference.
we're only talking
We're only
about.
talking about the articles of incorporation right now.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I'm a little puzzled that we're charitable, scientific and educational when we're actually a park and recreation district. And shouldn't we say something about parks and recreation or sports or whatever? Because I just feel like charitable, scientific and educational is having scholarships for
So
types.
I think just simply adding recreation and parks purposes to that list of 3 is.
So charitable, scientific, educational, recreation and parks purposes. Everywhere it says charitable, scientific and educational, you add recreation
That's-
and park purposes.
And that's on purpose, so that I've tried to include all park and recreation activities as long as they're for charitable, educational, or scientific
It never
purpose.
says that.
And the reason is because of the exemption that we're going to be applying for. I tried in Article 2, Section A, about halfway down, it says to own and operate such other sports facilities, pools, or other recreational, perhaps I should say park or recreational facilities for charitable, educational, and scientific purposes. You're right. A lot of what you do is already charitable. If you're offering a reduction in entry fees or, something like that.
What if we got a grant to build a new park or puts a new
Well, now
item
keep
in
in
a
mind,
park?
the only
Does that
time
come-
yeah, no, I hear you. The only time we'll be using this is when the grant is only available to nonprofits. If it's
Right, but it
available
could be.
to the district, you can apply as a district. But the reason we're doing this is for those grants that are only available to a nonprofit, which is going to require that it be for some charitable purpose. And therefore, this should fit perfectly when that happens.
Would there be nonprofit grants for, say, a new playground? Is that a charitable purpose? I'm really confused.
Just because it's going to the nonprofit and the nonprofit is the charitable entity and
Who's
passing it to,
doing it for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
that's how I
That seems
understand
weird to me.
The answer would be yes. If they're offering grants for parks for charitable purposes, boom, you can do it now. You have an agent.
Okay.
The answer would be a clear yes.
Well, the attorney is saying that charitable, scientific and educational covers everything. So I guess I just have to take his word for it.
Think of it as a circumcision. That's probably the wrong metaphor or analogy. You have the powers and but you do some things that would not qualify.
Recreation more.
Ross, Mr. Leja just brought up something. He said adding the word health.
Health?
Yeah, because the health would cover like sports and recreation, wouldn't it? For charitable, educational, health, or scientific purposes.
Could scientific cover health?
I don't know.
I don't know if it would
Possibly.
be beneficial to specifically say.
Charitable certainly could. So yeah, let me try to work that in somewhere.
Okay.
And I'll also work in the word park, so it's park and recreation facilities for those purposes. I understand.
And for the benefit of the audience, one of the reasons we are starting this corporation is there's a number of grants available to us as a district, but there's also a lot of grants that we're not eligible to necessarily apply for that will help us provide scholarship opportunities or new programming to the community. So we're trying to take advantage of those. And that would help offset those operating costs.
But what I also like is the way we're setting it up. Since we will be the board for the charitable foundation, it has to be done under the Brown Act. So everything will be done with complete and total transparency. Whereas if we set up one with like a separate board of community members, they could be doing things under the law. It wouldn't have to be as transparent. So I like the fact that we're doing it in such a way that makes it as transparent as possible.
Any other comments, corrections?
I move that the board of directors direct staff to proceed with the establishment of a new nonprofit corporation to assist the district in its functions by filing the presented articles of incorporation with the two corrections or additions that we've asked for concerning the word health and concerning the word parks with the California Secretary of State.
So, okay, good question.
I have one good word, wellness. How about wellness? It's trending is what we use today. It's health, science, all together.
Health, wellness.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. Kim, do you want to add that to your motion?
I will add that to my motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item 5.4, discussion and possible award of bid for custodial services.
Yes, staff's been working on update of our custodial service contract. We put out to bid through our Planet bid system that we use. We received 7 bids, I want to say. 5. We put it out for our regular cleaning service that we already have in place for the district office, Betty D. Smith Senior Center and Skyview Event Center. We had discontinued service at the Hoopa Community Center 18 months ago when it went under when we closed it down prior to construction. And it wasn't something that we've had at Veterans Memorial in the past. We put out for our basic cleaning service, reviewed the scope of service for each site. With that, we added window service and carpet cleaning service as well as options. Both those came back quite expensive. So it's something that we've opted not to proceed with. What we're recommending is Premier Property Preservation's bid. They came in everything combined at $4,600 per month. This is comparing for the facilities we currently have is cheaper than what we're currently paid. Ironically, the company we're currently using came in cheaper than they're currently charging us. A little frustrating when that happens. This is something available in the operating budget currently for this fiscal year, and that we've already incorporated to our operating budget that will be coming before you for review for next fiscal year as well. So with that, I'd be available for any questions you may have.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Yes.
You said that you weren't gonna do the window cleaning, because here it just says you're just removing the carpet cleaning.
Carpet and windows, I apologize for that, but yeah, it is carpet and windows. The window is quite costly.
So we'll just do the windows separately.
We'll do the window, yeah, we have another contractor, it's much better for windows.
Okay. I had a question. Sure. Just curiosity. We're having them clean the inside of our microwaves, but not our refrigerator. So who cleans the inside of the refrigerator? Stop.
Hopefully staff.
Shouldn't staff be cleaning inside the microwaves?
I would think so.
That was just something that was, we used the template and that was something that was in there and it's. To make sure they're doing their job, but there's also microwaves in our public kitchens as well.
Yes, that's different. I understand that.
That's different of it as far as our break rooms and stuff. I think staff should be responsible for cleaning up after themselves.
That's Loretta's pet peeve, for sure.
Don't get in there.
The kitchen. I don't like dishes left. Oh.
Any other questions or comments?
Excuse me, sorry, I guess one comment or question. Would we consider removing the carpet from the Skyview Center per se, instead of having it cleaned all the time and just have
To
flooring?
be honest, that's something we've had some internal discussions at as it comes down for replacement here in the next couple of years.
Less costly?
It'll be something we're gonna look at, instead of replacing carpet, looking at the LVT. But then we'll have some acoustics that need to be addressed because of it, but I think in the long run,
It'd be less effective.
Yeah.
I move that the board of directors accept Caribbean Property Preservation's bid and authorize the general manager to execute all associated documents.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Alright, moving on to item 5.5. Replacement of Wanamaker Gymnasium scoreboards. Mr. Goodwin.
Yes, this is one of the items as part of our deferred maintenance program that we're working on that the committee reviewed. The basketball scoreboards at Avalon, Wanamaker Gym were installed in late 890s.
When it was built.
When it was built, they're the original scoreboards, they're incandescent lights. The horn on one of them kind of anymore, it doesn't really blow. They're a wired system, it creates a tripping hazard. It's time to update them and replace them. We've staff received 3 bids here, I'm sorry. Click on the right agenda item for you guys. Varsity Scoreboards, ironically, is the same company that we just purchased them for the replacement ones at Knowles Field.
5.5.
5.5, I clicked the wrong one, I'm sorry. And the new scoreboards will be LED and wireless as well. Just make it a lot more efficient for staff, so.
Could you put the quote up for us, please?
And with that, it'd be available for any questions you may have.
Yes, I have a question. First of all, I don't believe any of the quotes considered the price of installing.
None of them are, our electrician will install those. None of them offer that.
Well, actually, one of them had an optional price for, it didn't have an optional, but it talked about the price specifically didn't include installation, so I assume that meant that it could.
Yeah, our electrician will install them.
You saw electrician, our in-house people?
No, our contract. We have a
Contract,
yes.
okay, I just want to make sure that if something gets damaged on installation, that, you know, we don't have to just suck up the total cost.
No.
Okay. That was my question.
One of the things we're working on is replacement of the lights inside the gym as well. And we're waiting for those quotes and hopefully we'll have a contractor do it at the same time while the lift is there.
Any other questions or comments?
I move the board of directors accept the bid on Varsity Scoreboards for the purchase of 2 new scoreboards and controllers for the Wanamaker Gymnasium in the amount of $10,866.58.
Second,
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. All right, moving on to item 5.6, discussion and possible approval of the 2025 Veterans Memorial Wall nominees. Mr. DeGwitt.
Thank you. Yes, we have 2 nominees this year that were submitted for the Veterans Memorial Wall. First being Chester G. Cable. He served in the U.S. Army in Korea. Many of you know Mr. Cable. He was the owner of LA Circus right here in the Pedley area, just passed away recently. And then the other one being Arthur Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez served in the U.S. Army in the early 1980s. And he was a member, he lived in Sky Country and was a member of ETI, which was a Equestrian Trails Incorporated, which is a statewide horsemen's association. but they typically put on a lot of gymkhana activities back in at Larimore Park, and he was heavily involved in that. Mr. Cable was actively involved in the VFW and other community organizations here within the community. Both have met the minimum criteria, being serving our country and being honorably discharged, and have done community service within our community here. With that, they're open for your discussion.
We couldn't get an actual copy of Chester's DD 214.
We've applied for it. Yes.
There's very little documentation that came with.
When are these gonna be engraved?
The assumption would be for this year. I'm still waiting to hear back from Winnie to make sure that she's comfortable with it, Chester passing so recently and being added to the wall this year.
This was the VFW then that nominated him.
Yes, Mr. Barnes, but has worked with Winnie on the nomination.
We just want to be certain.
We want to be certain that she is comfortable with it happening so quickly. His services were yesterday.
Yeah.
So, we have had members in the past that have informed us that maybe they wish they'd waited a year since it was so close. I want to make sure that she understands that his nomination can be carried to next year if she prefers. That it's more, she's ready for it. So
And how soon do we have to know that for the engraving to take?
I need to
place?
talk to the engraver. He's literally has all the plaques in his shop right now, so it's very, very easy for him to add.
Were these only two nominations?
These are the only two nominations received.
I move that the board of directors approve the 2025 Veterans Memorial Wall nominees as presented.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. All right, general manager's report, Mr. Dewitt.
Thank you. A lot of good news to share with you guys this evening. First of all, as you guys recall, our last board meeting, we passed a agenda item opposing SB 315. We were notified yesterday that the author of SB 315 has decided to transition it to a 2-year bill, which means it will no longer be heard in committee this year. It does have the possibility of coming back up January 2026, but that's good news. Just to recall, that was a bill that would impact Quimby fees, which is what allows the park district to get funds on all new development for future park development. It was being touted as something increasing the cost of housing purchases. And I think the opposition from it from not just park districts, but cities and counties across the state was overwhelming. And so the author had decided to pull that. The information being shared was not necessarily representative of all agencies. Again, they were primarily using the city of Mountain View that had a Quimby fee of $100,000 per EDU or new house being developed. We don't actually use the Quimby Act here in Rupa Valley. In the park district, we are using AB 1600, but our Quimby fee would be somewhere around $3,000 per unit. So I can understand the concern with that, but it just wasn't representative of the entire state. So we're glad to see that that's been placed on hold. More great news. I was notified this morning that our application for 37th Street Park has been nominated by the state to proceed to the national level, which is very telling that we have a very, very, very high chance of being awarded this grant. We have a mandatory teams meeting next week, and we have some final documentation that will need to be submitted to the state by May 19th. Primarily, it's just some pictures and stuff like that, but we're very excited about that. We won't know until next November if we're actually awarded, but this was very good news for the district. I wanted to show you something. While I'm waiting for my email to pull up here, bunch of them here, unfortunately. I wanted to just update the board on the arenas. All of the arenas have been completed, and we have been getting tremendous response from the public in regards to it. On social media, just from various residents. I stopped by Stater Brothers right here before our meeting to grab a drink. And the lady, the cashier said, "You work for the parks?" I love the new arena you just put in. Thank you so much. So it was very well received and we're all aware it was quite overdue, but we're continuing to hear the great response for that. So that's awesome to hear. The Rupa Community Center, as Alex referenced earlier, is nearing completion. Flooring will start on Monday. The parking lot is still the second phase that needs to be completed. The contractor is working vigorously on that. We are scheduled for our ribbon cutting with the Chamber of Commerce on Friday, May 30th at 11 a.m. There'll be flyers going out, I believe, starting tomorrow for everybody, inviting them to that. And then Saturday, the 31st, is what we're calling our open house for the public. That's when we have contract with In-N-Out to be there. I'll be handing out burgers to all of the individuals. They have to come through, tour the facility, and show that they like or follow us on social media to be eligible to get their burger. So we're definitely using that as part of a marketing campaign here. The facility is looking great. If you guys haven't had a chance to tour it yet, let me know. I can get you guys in there. I believe Ms. Johnson and I are touring it tomorrow. Let me know. But it's moving along well. If you haven't been by, the colors look phenomenal. You can see it from the street. So we're really excited for that. Our turf reduction program is going on at Vernola Family Park. It's gonna be about another 2 weeks and they'll be done with that. So we're really excited for that as well. And then the other part kind of coinciding with that, as you guys know, the Rupa Community Services District is working on a recycled water project where they're bringing water basically from the west end of Eastville across under the freeway. Vernola Family Park, Turnleaf, Serrano Ranch, Esplanade are already quote unquote plumbed with purple pipe for the conversion. So Vernola will be the first one converting over to that, which will help. We're gonna see we're anticipating a slight reduction in our water bills, not massive. But the difference is we will not be restricted to watering times because of the reclaimed water. So that'll be beneficial to us. So we're excited for that. Right, didn't I send myself that email?
You did, because you sent it to me.
Am I
Go
not
to my-
seeing it?
Oh, no, that was something else you sent me. Can you send me?
Yeah, give me a quick second here. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is an update on the memorial wall. We've run into a hiccup. The uplighting for the wall is not available soon. We've looked at a couple things. At one point, I was afraid we were gonna have to postpone the memorial wall ceremony. We got with our architects and the contractor, and we've come up with what we think to be a good solution. We will be pouring everything in place with the exception of a 3-foot ribbon in front of the memorial wall where the uplighting goes. And we'll fill it with a gravel for right now, so it's still safe. And when the products actually come in, we'll come in, remove the gravel, set the lights, and then pour the final ribbon of concrete. This will still allow us to proceed with the memorial wall. While it's not ideal, it will keep us on track. So we're a little frustrated with that, and I'm sure you guys are as well. These lights are just not something that's off a shelf. They're all custom made to order. We've looked at other manufacturers, American made, different ones, and nothing's readily available, with the exception of about 3.5 weeks from now, which would be past our deadline to have the wall in place. So that's how we're proceeding. Other than that, I'm sure maybe you saw the wall itself was installed on Monday. It looks great. If you haven't had an opportunity to check it out, please do so. With that, I just want to show you the website and try to see if our email is coming. We are working on an update to our website. Our website right now is not bad, but it's not great. This is a draft. We're still working on the colors. One of the things our website provider does for us now is they offer us a ADA defense fund. Thank you. as part of our subscription to them. With that, one of the restrictions we have is the main colors here, like on the bars. We cannot change them ourselves. They have to do it because they want to make sure it's in compliance with the current ADA 2.0 rules. There has to be certain contrast levels. So we've submitted color changes to them. We're looking at some blues in there, so that'll be coming forward. But mainly it's the interactive videos that we've added to it that I think are so cool looking. Miguel's put these together for us, just kind of a montage of stuff over the last couple of weeks here. But as you scroll through, it's just much more inviting. We are getting away from graphics and trying to use more pictures of our actual activities. These are our guys fixing a main line break there. This is the Easter egg hunt. Our activity guide is our swim lessons. So, and there's our memorial wall going into place. So it's not final yet, but it looks phenomenal. We really like that. Yeah, it looks really good. So
It looks inviting with the colors, the vibrancy of the colors.
that's what we're trying to go for. So like I said, Miguel is doing a phenomenal job with this, and I'm really excited for that. So with that, it'd be available for any questions you may have.
How was spring fling?
Spring was great. We had a great turnout. It ended up being a beautiful day. The egg hunt, those kids sucked those eggs up like no time flat, you know. The greatest joke of the day is I'd love to make it every year. Wish those kids could clean their room that fast, you know. We gave out about 10,000 eggs were hidden and hunted in the grass out there. But it was a great time by all. We had a number of different organizations and some vendors out there that all had a good time as well. So no problems with the day whatsoever. I don't believe we had any this year. We had a lot of lost kids that day. They run into the egg hunt and they go out a different area. Mom and dad can't find them. We've changed the way the layout works. So we funnel them through one area and they funnel out the same area. So we've eliminated a lot of that. So it was a great day.
Any other comments, questions for Mr. DeGood?
We anticipate having this website launched in the next week or two.
That's good. Moving on to board comments. We'll start with Ms. Johnson.
I was able to go to Spring Fling and it was a delightful event, watching the little kids get the eggs, always fun. The vendors were great. I bought myself a new purse and it was a very enjoyable event. I thanked all the vendors for coming because I know they're there for a purpose, but at the same time, they're making our event better. So I always make sure I go through and thank all of them for taking their time to come to our events. And I visited Abigail Park with my grandson, and I'm wondering if we need to put a little more information than maybe a better description or something of our parks, so that when people like pull up a park on our website, it doesn't just say swings and this, but maybe ages as well.
One of the things we're working on with the new updated website is actual pictures of every park facility on the website.
Right. But that's an absolutely perfect park if you have a toddler, because it's small, but it's big enough for them to run around, and it kind of contained the fence at the street, and it was great. He loved it. He had a great time. He particularly enjoyed the patch underneath. There's a little patch in the squishy surface. He had a great time poking at that for isn't that, all the things that he can do, and he wants to poke at the patch.
There's a lot of shade there for the.
It's
Parents are-
perfect. Yes, no, it's fantastic. Lots of shade, and the playground itself is shaded, and it's a really great place there for little kids. So that's great. And then Mr. Legion and I drove past Sage Point Park on the way here to the meeting. Just take a look at it. It looks great.
Mr. Castellan.
I'm glad to hear Spring Fling went well. I wasn't able to make it, but I'm glad to hear that this year was another success. In regards to all the projects that are going on, I'm really happy with everything kind of like taking place. With the memorial wall and with JCC, gonna schedule a tour for next week to check it out. Before it gets.
It's gonna be ready next week because the flooring is going in and they don't want us walking around too much.
All right, we'll schedule something. but yeah, but my props to you guys and all the staff for everything. I think it's really becoming visible, right? Especially with the website, making it very real, right? For us and then for the public. So thank you to all for everything that's you all been able to accomplish so far.
Mr. Leach?
Yeah, we went to spring fling. I agree with you, Colby. It's always amazing how fast they can clear an entire field of eggs. I think one year I timed it, it was like 72 seconds or something like that for these kids to run out and actually clear every egg out of the outfield. But, it's fascinating. And my wife also fed the vendors, so it's successful for them. So not so my wallet, but it was successful for them. As you know, I spend many days going by the Veterans Memorial Wall field to see the construction. I was there, very excited watching them place the pieces. I went by a couple days later, actually just yesterday, and they had all the conduit run from the lighting for all the flagpoles, and they had all the footings, all the forms for everything in place, ready to pour. And it's really coming along. I think once concrete's all poured, the rest of it will fall into place relatively quickly. So I'm a little disappointed about the lights. But apparently there's not much we can do about it. Glad we did find a solution to keep the event on track.
I commend the architect and the contractor for putting their heads together and there's not been a change order yet, so.
And as always, thank you, staff, and for everything you guys do. There was a compliment to staff I saw on Facebook, somebody was talking about our rental of our picnic tables and everything. And one lady happened to post on there that she had called to find out information about it. And she did find out that we didn't rent them at that park, but she said our staff was very friendly and helpful on the Facebook page. So it's always nice to see somebody from the community complimenting our staff.
Ms. Rivas?
Well, I'm sorry I missed the spring fling. I'm very sorry because I was looking forward to it, but I'm glad that it went well. Kobe, thank you, and to the team. I visited the memorial wall. I had never been there. I had not seen where it was hidden, and it was a great pleasure to see where it's at now. It pays respect to the people on the wall. It's just amazing with the way it's coming out. And like Ross said, it's a shame about the lighting, but we will do. Luckily, our people were able to come through. So that I was thrilled to see that. I was like, wow, like amazed. And again, thank you for seeing it through, Kobe. And I look forward to our new community center, the outcome. And our website, I love the colors. Oh my God, it is so eye enticing, vibrant, just like that. See what it turns out to be. Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you. And I was able to go to Spring Fling. I saw staff hard at work, and obviously, you know, all their effort they put into it shows. One of my friends said it was the perfect little event. I tend to agree as well. So thank you for staff. I'm excited for all the updates that were mentioned. I can't wait to see more trees. I like that we're working on that initiative as well. And as always, thank you to staff, thank you to community members, and thank you to my fellow board members. I think even though we don't have quite the same vision, we know how to do the right thing here at the district. So yeah, thank you. And with that, we'll move on to committee reports, if any.
No committee reports.
We have a future budget personnel.
We have a future budget personnel, yes.
Right, that'll be May 7th at 10 a.m. Are there any agenda items for future board meetings? No? All right. Upcoming meetings, May 8th and May 23rd.
May 23rd is canceled.
23rd is canceled, right? We'll be at CARPD. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:40.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob, thank you, Bob.
Drive
Thank
safely.
you.
We'll talk tomorrow, Bob.
Okay.
Adios.
Mr. Lazy, you got some homework. I need your application for the